Hi there, friends. As you can see, we're coming to you from indoors today. There's a gorgeous rain falling on our tin roof, so perfect afternoon to sit in front of the fire and talk to my best friend. Truth to tell, we did start this video a couple nights back. We wanted to shoot it outdoors, and we particularly thought that sitting underneath the gorgeous, a claret ash tree, I believe,
in
our
just
backyard.
blazing red in the sun.
It would just be amazing, and the visuals would make up for any lack of intelligence on our part. Sadly, that was sort of hashtag epic fail.
The sunset.
Sunset
and we kept
too
losing
early.
our train of thought, and
it was disjointed. So,
but it was fun. It was still fun.
Nobody diagnosed me as OCD at that point. They should have done. Didn't know about things like that back
so
in.
It makes you such a great
editor. No. It's all good. Yeah. But so now that we're done telling you that, we're gonna start over. So. No, part of the reason we wanted to do our best on this video is because we're coming up on Mother's Day this Sunday, and mothers obviously are massively important in each of our lives. So we want to do justice to our moms, knowing that it's really impossible to do that in a short format video or indeed at all. But we're going to try. First off, why Mother's Day? My mom always told me that if she got a card from me on Mother's Day, she'd be somewhat disappointed, knowing that I'd sort of capitulated to the Hallmark view of the world. My mom always wanted to be told how special she was throughout the year and every day. Yeah. I'm sure yours was the same.
Yes, she didn't go in for convention, just loved the surprise.
But if we go back to how Mother's Day began, it's actually a fairly recent holiday. It was instituted in the United States, I believe, in 1914 by President Wilson. But before that, there were some amazing women who worked in the mid-1800s to have a day set aside to remember mothers, and also following the U.S. Civil War to help toward reconciliation, bringing mothers of soldiers from the South and the North together. And it was really about peace and about, as they called it, the sacred right of mothers not to have their children go off to war. So some profound ideas around the beginning of Mother's Day. And then the daughter of one of those inspirational women, a woman by the name of Anna Jarvis, I believe, she was the one who really kicked it up a few notches and got it going as a holiday. But ironically, she too hated the commercialization of it. And died rather disappointed with what it had become, because she really thought that Mother's Day should just be a day for families to celebrate their moms in their own way. I'm kind of boring you here, aren't I?
No,
it's
so great.
I find it interesting. I like history.
I'm just saying, this is really amazing.
But part of my childhood was in England, and in England we don't have Mother's Day on the second Sunday in May, which incidentally was the anniversary of Anna Jarvis's mother's passing. That's how it came to be that Sunday. Yeah. In England, you celebrate Mothering Sunday, which is, I believe, like the fourth Sunday in Lent. And that goes back centuries. But really what that was about was people going back to their mother church.
Really?
Yeah. So if you move away from home, then the church that you're going to, I guess you call it the daughter church. Okay. And then once a year, you sort of make your pilgrimage back to your mother church. Okay. But naturally, obviously, that would be a time for families to get together and celebrate. Yeah. So in a way, there's a clear correlation between the two celebrations. All that is to say, here we are on the threshold of Mother's Day, 2021. And we thought what we could do, for starters, is each of us tell a memory of childhood or a memory of our mom that illustrates something special about them. Yeah. And I think you need to start out by just explaining the fact that you have two moms.
Yes, and if you want to learn about my first mother, my biological mother, just check out a video we made a couple weeks ago when we were celebrating her birthday. But my birth mother died when I was 1. She was 37. And I was blessed with a beautiful new stepmother a few years later by the name of Roswitha, or White Rose in German. And I hate the term stepmother because, and she didn't like it too, because it conjures up all these sort of grumpy fairy tale types who were
Pretty
mean.
Brothers Grimm, yes.
And she was anything but that. And She took 8 of us children who were not her own into her life, which is just incredible.
Staggering.
Had 2 of her own, which we consider equally our siblings and love dearly. So there's 10 of us all together. And I love to think of her in May, because May is my birth month, and she unfailingly made each one of our birthdays extremely special, from the time we were tiny till we were out of the house. And the birthday I want to tell you about is my last birthday at home. I was engaged to you already, but you were finishing up some project somewhere else, so you weren't around. And she wanted to make it a birthday that I would never forget. And sure enough, I was wakened early by a couple of my sisters with the horses all saddled outside my window. And we went on a beautiful trail ride and ended up in this mystical park on the edge of our community. And there was mist rising off this pond. I was just going to say dam, because that's the Australian term for
But that is what made it mystical.
Yeah, true. Ooh, you're so funny. And the table was laid out all Tasha Tudor style, with flowers all down the center and a birthday arch. And I wore a flower crown. She made me a flower crown every year out of yellow roses.
So
they bloom.
essentially it was like a dress rehearsal for your wedding, only without me being there.
Yeah, exactly. And we tied the horses up, and in front of my plate was a bouquet literally this big of pure lily of the valley blossoms. And that for me is the scent of my that I connect with my mother, because she always picked that for me for my birthday. And
So that was all her doing.
all her doing. And then she'd handmade croissants, because she knew I was a savory kind of girl. And I just remember sitting there with Dad and Mom on either side, and just looking at them and just feeling bathed in their love, and knowing that I was going from that love into your love, but that their primary love is what made me who I am.
It's a whole lot of love.
As clumsy as I
it's
am,
gorgeous.
but yeah, no,
Yeah.
she just was a very, very special mother.
And so how many Mother's Day has it been now since Mom Rosevede's been gone from us?
Gosh, over 6, I want to say.
What year did she pass?
2015.
Yeah, so Norann's mom died
Yeah.
2015. So between us, we still have my mom, who
Yes.
we both love dearly.
Yeah.
I know daughter-in-laws aren't necessarily supposed to get along with their mother-in-laws, but that's
We
certainly
just
never been
defy
the
that
case.
relationship.
And
I love your
I think in
mother.
part that's
Yeah.
also to do with the fact that both our moms were incredibly good friends and co-workers. They both had a flair for the dramatic. Your mom's
My mom's a
fantastic
teacher,
artist.
yeah, and
my
an
mom's
artist.
my mom's an absolute whiz with drama, so they were always
Collaborating,
collaborating. So
yeah,
there was
yeah.
that. So thank you for that story. Should I jump in? Or do you want to say anything else?
Yeah, I just you have to share that incredible photo of them on the set of Love's Labour's Lost. They loved to do Shakespeare together, and I remember after your mom moved down here and my mom was going solo with these drama productions, she'd ring me up and she'd be like, I need Nancy Bowl. I need someone to do the hair and the makeup and just get the kids to act. Where's Nancy? So anyway.
To which she would say, meanwhile.
Yeah. But tell about your mother.
Yeah, so my mom. The memory I chose to tell is from my childhood. And I choose this because it illustrates my mother's clear qualifications for sainthood. I was a creature of habit. I probably still am to some extent. But I had a ritual that I could not go to sleep at night, and this was for years, and probably, until I was 7 or 8 at least.
Luckily you've grown out of it.
Where my mom would have to come and sit on my bed and sing me the same song every night. And it's a beautiful little song. It's If I Were a Beautiful Twinkling Star. You can look it up. It's a Sunday school song that many of the children in the Bruderhof grow up with. It speaks of shining your little light in little dark places. But anyway, that was like my song, and my dear mom had to sit there and sing the whole thing, all the verses.
Lots of verses, doesn't
There's
it?
like 3 at least.
Yeah.
And she sang
And a
them
chorus.
faithfully. Though sun or moon I cannot be to make the whole world bright, I'd find some little cheerless spot and shine with all my might.
It's a
And my
great
mom
song.
would sing that little prayer for me every single night. But not only that, I had a blanket that somebody had given me, sort of a felty feeling blue, sky blue blanket that had sewn onto it this large star, pointed star. The other side of the blanket was just blue, and woe betide if that blanket wasn't star side up. And Mom, I'm sorry, but I also used it as a bit of a ploy because I would wait until she was out of the room and then make her come back. And I need it star side up, and I need the door just to crack open. And moms do this stuff. All our moms, we all have stories, these little rituals over and over, and they don't complain about it. I mean, I don't know if she went away and rolled her eyes or shed tears or just laughed, but that was my mom night after night.
Yeah.
Same mom who was at my side, when I was sick, which felt like a lot of the time when I was a kid I had lung issues. Same mom who's there now beside my dad for the last 5 years as he's been battling cancer. She's stood by him through all his treatments, through surgery. She's standing by him now as he faces uncertain days ahead, and that's Mom. So I feel like that star side up metaphor captures what moms do and what they are. And didn't mean to go heavy,
You
but
just reminded me of how my mother, Rose Feet, used to take me on endless eye specialist appointments because I'm blind as a bat, and that was identified when I was 1 and like stumbling into stuff, and I had these dreadfully large glasses, with a big leather strap around the back of my head to keep them on. I'd always have to go see the doctor, and she would always turn it into a special event by stopping by a special ice cream store and ordering me a sundae, and we'd have that special mother.
Turn it into a celebration.
Turn it into a celebration, and I think both of our mothers have that quality. They make people feel special, make them feel welcome, and they can turn any event into a celebration. I think they both have that special gift.
It's not for nothing. I remember hearing about this as a kid and being very impressed that they've done studies where they try to figure out what is the most beautiful word in any language, and universally they come back with mother.
Yeah, that's so beautiful.
Whatever that is in whatever tongue, and in many languages those M sounds are found in the word.
Well, the other day I was just standing here in the kitchen, and it was that day I was a bit discouraged. I couldn't really identify. I was just sort of not. It wasn't my happiest day, and one of the sons just came up behind me, hugged me, and said, "Don't lose heart, Mom." And I was like,
it's like straight out of C.S. Lewis.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, courage, dear heart.
Yes.
Yeah, but it just Mom. It's just being called Mom is such an honor, and that leads me to. Can I tell the other story about Crystal?
Absolutely.
Because
you want to intro it?
Yeah. I think we all have people in our lives, and we touched on this in the last video, that aren't our biological mothers, but are truly our mothers and have the capacity to mother. And Crystal was that person for me, and she came into our family at the worst possible time you could imagine. My dad had just lost our mom. There was 8 of us, ranging from early teens down to 7 days old. Wow. And our community was rallying around and supporting us, and Crystal came into our lives. She's a very skilled kindergarten teacher and had this wonderful, soft, gentle, firm, reassuring presence about her. And
so just to be clear, so that she's part of the community, and the community tasked her to support your family.
Exactly, exactly, and just be on hand.
Basically like a nanny.
Like a nanny, yes. And while she was teaching as well, which is amazing. And she had an apartment near ours so that we could go anytime in the evenings, and especially I think I got quite wild in the evenings and upset. That was like my antsy time as a small child. And I would go to her room with my little sister, and we would have this ritual where she would light this little German incense holder guy, and he would start smoking out of his little pipe, and we'd read special stories, and she'd put on panpipes,
music of the Andes kind of thing.
Yeah, because she was raised in South America. And then she would sing to us, and my eyes would always wander over to a part of the wall where she had photographs of her family and a handwritten prayer of St. Francis, "Lord, make me an instrument of thy peace." And I had that memorized by the time I was in middle school because I read it every night, and that completely embodied Crystal. And she was the most beautiful person we could imagine. She had olive skin, jet black hair, and always wore impeccable clothing that matched, so lots of bright reds and oranges. And then she had these adorable little, almost like Australian bunnies, but they were velvet with like little zippers up the side.
Very cute.
Terribly cute. And she
very
was the
elves
most
and shoemaker-ish.
Yes, she was the most magnificent dancer. And my little siblings and me used to pray that she wouldn't get married. Isn't that terrible? We didn't tell her this ever. But we were like, how
Sure.
would our lives function without her?
Hmm.
And I remember her being asked once, Crystal, how have you managed to get through life without having any children when you're such an awesome teacher and educator? And she said, what do you mean I've had 10?
Mm.
And then she listed all 10 of
Mm.
us and all of our children, which she said are her grandchildren.
So of course,
So-
I didn't know that backstory of her relationship to your family until you told it to
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
But certainly experienced that after the two of us were married and then had children of our own, how Crystal took us first and then the kids into her heart.
And what a
We
wedding guest
yeah,
she was.
yeah. She was brilliant. She was the
Yeah.
life of the party at our wedding.
Yeah.
And then prior to our move down here, made sure that we stopped in to visit her so she could say essentially a blessing
Yeah.
for both our boys,
Yeah.
our two oldest at the time.
Yeah.
And that was our parting from her.
Yeah, we kept in touch via phone and mail till she passed. But she got MS when I would have been in my early teens and had to relinquish her, not her relationship with our family, but her activity in our family to take care of her health. But for all of us, she's our third mother.
Yeah. So our point today is to, first of all, acknowledge and thank God for our mothers.
And wish all of you
Yeah.
a happy Mother's Day.
And also to make it clear that biology and motherhood don't necessarily go together.
We all have the capacity to mother.
That sounded really clunky, but you know what I'm saying. Like
Yeah, I
we
know what
we
you're
all
saying.
have the capacity to mother.
Yeah.
At least all the women do. We can go into the feminine qualities that we men are also supposed to carry with us.
Listen, the other day
It's
I was
important.
crook, and you made me the most incredible soup. You're an amazing soup maker,
That makes me.
and you know.
That's an attempt at being a good husband, not necessarily a mother. Or
I
anything.
know, but those are sort of like maternal instincts.
Anyway, we're getting a little. This is not going anywhere. How about just Happy Mother's Day? We love all you mothers. We thank you for everything that you do. Know that even though sometimes the men in your life won't always acknowledge and appreciate it the way they should, it doesn't go unnoticed. And
Thank you.
we couldn't survive a minute without what our mothers
Yeah.
do for us
Yeah.
and what the mothers of our children do for us. So God's blessing on you all. And if that's all right, we will catch up again soon.
Yeah, talk again soon. Thank you. Have a wonderful weekend.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.